All right, hey everyone. I just wanted to jump on here and talk about this weekend a little bit and how it went and what ended up happening for anyone who didn't get a chance to watch the live stream on the Through the Fingers podcast. Big shout out to Brian and the guys over there for streaming it for everyone for free. Um, so basically, the plan was this weekend was to go out Friday. Um, the event's on Saturday. We had a big snowstorm here in Billings. Tried to go out initially Friday, but the roads were just too bad. So we ended up turning around, going back, and then left Saturday morning, early in the morning, to get up to the event in time in Lethbridge, Canada, from Billings, Montana. Um, and yeah, man, what a great event Mike put on. So many high level matches and really good, solid pullers were there. Um, the reffing was great, um, and the intensity of the matches was high all throughout. The crowd was really behind everything. All the competitors were super into it. There was no bad matches at all. Every single matchup was super exciting. Also from Montana was Ben, and Dion was there competing, and Miles was reffing, but he didn't compete. Um, and yeah, so going into my match, so originally Mike and I were gonna pull left-handed, but I ended up getting injured, and I just got cleared a few weeks ago, so I wasn't feeling too confident about having a super match on the left. So we ended up switching it to being a right arm super match. Um, and So Mike ended up getting the win, 3-0 on me. Um, very strong guy. And Lots of speed. I practiced and I trained a lot to try to respond to that. On my right arm, I just didn't quite have enough hand to block what I needed to block in order to get in the match soon enough. I was able to slow him down the first two rounds, but could never really get the stop that I needed. And then the third round, I found a much better position. But again, I mostly just slowed him down, didn't really get that stop I wanted. Well, there was like kind of like this ugly straight arm King's move thing that I kind of did as like a desperation move. You guys know how it goes. But Nothing that I was happy with, or nothing that would have allowed me to really truly get the win off. Um, I definitely learned a lot from that. There's a lot of things I could take away, and how Mike approached the table and how he set up, and that might help me be able to get in the match a little bit sooner. So I definitely learned a lot from him. The way he set up, and just the way he pulls, and just his hit. Um, my training plan coming in is one of my training partners, Dalton. I was just having him kind of imitate Mike's style and just slam into me as hard as he could. Because Dalton's pretty fast, but I really wasn't prepared for how much quicker Mike would be, especially in that first round. Definitely caught me off guard. So again, yeah, big learning experience. I did end up pulling in the left arm tournament just to kind of see and feel things out. And I told myself if the first match didn't go well, or if it didn't feel right, then I would pull out. And luckily, Mike was my first opponent in the tournament. So we did end up getting to have our left-handed match. And despite my worries, my left arm was there. It showed up. And I was able to get the win on him, not just in our initial matchup, but I ended up staying in the winner's bracket, going undefeated. And then we faced again in the finals, and so then I ended up winning my class at the Wreck the Halls tournament, left-handed. And that was really great and a big confidence booster for me, because I've been very timid. I've only been able to train the last 2 weekends. 2 weekends prior to taking a break for this match. So there was only two practices on it, and I was very timid and very cautious with my left arm. So I had no idea how I was going to react to a live pull, a full speed match. Um, so this makes me feel really good. As a matter of fact, I feel like it's one of those weird arm wrestling things where I may have healed stronger, and stiffer, and just better than before. Um, Definitely the last year of training was super, super, super intense, especially with the weight loss I try to do when I tried that. Tried to compete down in the 176s for a while, but now that my body's back up, I was about 210 pounds for the competition. Um, I'm feeling much better, much stronger, and I think this is just where I'm supposed to be. Even though I'm not the tallest guy, I think my body just performs better at a heavier weight. Um, and yeah, no, I was just super excited, super ecstatic, and very happy with how my left-handed performance went. Getting those pins on Mike, the first left-handed match was very close. Like his hit was again even faster than on the right arm, and it just I thought I was kind of prepared for it based off the right, but his left arm is so much faster than even his right, and it really caught me off guard. And I stopped him like just literally like as close as you could possibly probably call it, from the pad, and then I was able to wrench him over. I'm very, very confident in my pronation on my left arm, and once that once that stopped and I felt his fingers, I just rolled over and was able to get that pin. And then after getting that pin, I believe my next match was with Jason. No, it was I can't remember his name. I just met him for the first time. I think he was a newer puller though, if I remember right. And we had a match, and my version of a flash. I'm not very fast, but I got him down. And then I faced Jason Shaw, um, and Jason Shaw beat me earlier this year, back in I can't remember if it was, I think it was March or April. So it felt really good being able to get a win on him, getting some revenge there. Um, and Then in the finals, I faced Mike again, but this time I feel like I had all the information I needed, and I was confident because I knew the strength was there to pin him. Um, so instead of just worrying about the hand, because Mike's hand was significantly bigger than mine. No surprise, everyone's hand is bigger. So I just try to take the hand out of it and stop worrying about, trying to fight for height. And I gripped him really low and just put my wrist across his wrist and just made it a battle of arm strength. And I was able to stop him in the center in the second one. And then right after I got hand control and I felt really good, and I didn't feel his surge anymore, then I just kind of pulled him over, and I think he held me just for a little bit above the pin pad, and then I was able to pull through and get that win again. Um, Really happy. Like I said, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from how he set up, and how I feel like he's maybe achieving some of that speed. His move is very unique. It's like he kind of like doesn't like it's not like a typical cup where it's like a two-part move where he's kind of like going back, but he's like, I don't know, it's like this kind of scooping, and you can feel it when you're in the match with him, and if you slow it down you probably see it, where it's just like it's almost like this two-piece movement. And it's really hard to deal with. And I think that once I kind of figured that out and felt it enough times between the right and that first left hand match, I knew I just needed to take the hand out of it, set my wrist really low, kind of put my wrist bone into him, and just let him hit into my wrist. Um, and that really gave me the advantage I needed to be able to stop the match, and then use my strength, because again, like, all these Canadians consistently show that haven't quite figured out how to get my hand on the same level as them. They're always hand dominant. So I'll continue to train my hand. I'll take a lot of the lessons I learned from this match, especially with finishing, getting some more finishing power. I feel like I need, and yeah, go from there and train and get better and continue this journey. One thing I also do want to say is I got to meet and pull a legend in Ben Souls, or Solis, I believe, is how you pronounce his name. If I remember correctly, they're saying he's former world champion. You can tell, you can see it in his hands, his wrists, his elbows, just decades, I think over 30 years in arm wrestling. He ended up winning, I believe, the right-handed overall, or the right-handed tournament, and in the super heavy, or no, left-handed super heavy. So because I faced him in the overalls, excuse me, and we had a war. My left arm was very fading by that point. Again, from the lack of training, I just the conditioning wasn't there, and the ability to keep the power level high wasn't there. But it was a war. We ended up slipping, and then we went in the straps, and his hand and wrist and his rise is just, his wrist lock is so solid. I couldn't cup him at all. I couldn't supinate, go through any of the lanes I like. And again, he was also just a little bit faster than me. And then we ended up in this kind of really ugly double kings move. And we were sitting in there for a long time. And I wasn't really feeling any pressure. I felt the pressure stop. So I made a mistake, and I tried seeing if I could stand up and kind of and just like push it over and get the pin just past that midpoint. But no, as soon as he took advantage of that mistake right away, and was able to pull me over and get the win there for the overall. So yeah, great event. Really loved seeing everyone that I don't get to see as often. You know, we only get to see a couple times a year because of the Armsgeddon events and some of the other events that we meet up at, like the Armbender. But always learn so much from pulling the guys up in Canada. Again, they're just so hand dominant, so technical, that it's just, I always get better because of them, and I'm really appreciative, for Dion and Josh for putting together matches between us Montanans and the Canadians, because I really think it's raised all of our levels, and I know I'm a significantly better arm wrestler because of it, especially in the hand and wrist, and how obsessed I am with gaining that, because they very clearly make it obvious that how important that aspect is. And we all talk about it a lot as arm wrestlers, but just the differences and the little things that they do, it makes all the difference. But anyway, I kind of rambled on there for quite a bit longer than I thought, so I'll go ahead and end that here, and I'll also show this bad boy off. Yep, first place, 176 to 220, got it done. Thanks again for all the support, and I'll catch you guys next time.